In today's video, I'm going to repurpose this US General toolbox into a mobile workstation for my 6x48 Grizzly belt sander that you see behind me, this time on Challenge to Build. So you're probably wondering why I'm cleaning out a perfectly good toolbox of all the stuff that's in it to just repurpose it for something else. I saw this kind of sitting on the sidewall, not really being utilized too much, and figured, what the heck, I might as well try to convert it into like a mobile worktop. We're gonna do some trimming, and then we're gonna also lower it down and install different style casters with floor levelers and rubber pads on them. So then this will become a mobilized belt grinding abrasive station for the shop. I'll be able to put my angle grinders in the bottom tray. I'll be able to fill up the tool trays with belts and grinding wheels and cutting wheels and any tools for that purpose. So I figured it would work pretty well and figured I'd make a YouTube video about it. So that's kind of what we're up to. So now that the toolbox is emptied, I'm gonna go ahead and the first step I'm gonna do is take off this top box. Whoops. Let's see. Should just pop out. Should. Oh no. I found that it's not as easy as what I thought it was going to be. My projects tend to never be that easy, or I think they're going to be that easy, and then they wind up becoming this major process. You can kind of see right here, this middle support is attached to the top of the box. Keep in mind, if you take off these gas struts, or when you take off these gas struts, this top is going to want to close down on your fingers. So make sure that you are prepared to catch it. This way here, it doesn't hurt you. And of course, there's two little spot welds right on the front of this thing. Let's see if I can get to them like this. You figure when you want them to let go, they don't. There we go. On the back of this box, we have 4 pop rivets that hold the lock mechanism in. And we're gonna go ahead and take care of them as well now too. And there we go. You're probably already asking yourself, is it really worth it to dismantle this whole entire box, to put it all back together, to make a mobile workstation for my belt sander? And for me, the answer is yes. This wasn't really being utilized all that well, and it continued to pile up junk in the top part of this box. And I did go shopping for some kind of workstation that I can put this on. I actually tried the Chicago electric welding cart, but that was not enough surface area for the belt sander, and it felt very unstable. So this was kind of sitting over in the corner, and I figured, what the heck, we'll try to make it work. Just like everything else I try to do, like this truck over here, it just turns into a much bigger project. And so you're getting to watch me do it now. So if you wanted to do something like this, you know what to do or what not to do. So now this thing should come off like that. There we go. I'll put this to the side. We won't need any of this, and then we'll continue on in the next part of the build. So the next step for this is I'm going to set in the 1/4 inch steel top. We'll get these cut down and get the top welded onto the table or onto the box top. And then once this is done, we'll figure out the overall measurement from floor to the top, because I want this to be at a good working height. So that's what we're going to do next. So now that I have the tabletop and the center support welded into position, I was able to get all the drawers back in, have everything set up. I also took an angle grinder with a flap disc and then cleaned up the welds on the corners and kind of radiused the corners around so there's no sharp edges. The next step for me is to set the overall height of the top. I have these heavy-duty cast floor leveling casters. You'll be able to move them around, full swivel, and then when you get it into the position, they have a knob, and then this rubber pad comes down to lock it into position on the floor. There will be a link in the description for these. I pulled these off of Amazon. Since this is going to get utilized quite a bit, I want to make sure that the working height is very comfortable. This end of the unit will probably get used more than the actual disc sander part. So for the comfort level, I'm going to just keep my arms down to my side, keep my elbows bent at 90 degrees, and then this, to me, would be the optimum working surface for this height here. So now that I have the overall measurement from the work surface to the tabletop for the belt sander, minusing out the caster height, what I'm going to do is hold my tape measure at 14 inches. This is going to replicate the distance between work surface and then the tabletop. Measure down to our overall height that we said was right around 44 inches. Subtract the caster height, which would make it 40 inches, and then 40 inches minus 14 inches would give us a distance of 26 inches. So if I measure down from this work surface down to 26 inches, and then the casters go on, which will add an additional 4 inches, which will bring us down to 30, and then put the belt sander on here. Once the belt sander is on here, it will add another 14 inches of height for the table, which will give us the overall 44 inches of height. So hopefully I didn't lose you in all that. I kind of lost myself in it, but I think I know what I'm doing. Now it's a matter of flipping this thing over and taking out the bottom tray, trimming the legs, and kind of repeating the same process that we did for the top on the bottom. So now that I have the legs cut and the base clamped into position, I am measuring up from the 1/4 inch plate up to the top of the pan to double check my height to make sure I'm parallel all the way around the 4 sides. And then what I'm going to do is, rather than welding this tray in, I'm just going to drill a couple holes and then reutilize some of the hardware and then bolt the tray back together. One thing I did notice with the casters is they are on a little bit smaller bolt spread than the old ones. So they have like a 2 3/4 inch center to center bolt spread on them. So I will be able to utilize 2 out of the 4 holes. So I'll re-bolt the casters and then simply just drill the other holes, put the bolts in, and then we'll be able to flip this back over and finish out the build. clean as you go action. So we got like a total of 28.5 overall inches. And then we add 14 inches of height for the belt, and that puts me right where I need to be. Casters with the floor levelers work pretty good. And this way here, it's solid as a rock. Can't move it, it's on the rubber feet. And then also with having the rubber feet on the bottom, it will also help alleviate some of the vibration going through the floor. And yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like that. So now it's just a matter of marking out the location of the holes. I already started to work on that process. I found the center within the table and measured the overall width of the base of the grinder, and then worked in from there, trying to find the center of the holes. Once I found the 2 holes on the inside, I just continued the layout of the centers. Now I just want to double check to make sure that I have the center to center hole location set up. And then what I'm going to do is grab my mag drill, and we're going to drill these out and install the belt sander. So what you are looking at is my new mag drill. I picked this up a couple of weeks ago. This is a Vevor model J1C-40. You can actually find a full review of this on Amazon. I will have that link in the description. It is a good idea to use the center punch to get the start of your holes. Once you get the center punch, you run them down, and then turn your magnet on. And let's go drill. That is a pretty sweet tool. Like I said, I did pick that up on Amazon, and there will be a link in the description below if you want to see any more information and the review about that mag drill. I think it weighs more than 150 pounds. So I'm using 3/8 carriage bolts, actually. They're going to give me a really nice finished look on top of the belt sander. Ever so slightly. Then I am going to notch the back of this drawer instead. just gonna knock this one out now. Beautiful. And there you have it. We have now successfully modified a Harbor Freight U.S. General toolbox or service box into a mobilized belt grinding abrasives station. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. My name is Paul Michael. This has been Challenge to Build, and I'll see you in the next video.